Eu sou Simone, sou de Foz do Iguaçu, cresci em Curitiba e há 3 anos eu moro em Berlim. Me mudei para cá para fazer um mestrado em sustentabilidade na moda, sou designer de moda há 10 anos. E através do meu mestrado eu fui colaborar com um projeto em Bangladesh. Bangladesh é um país que tem uma produção de moda bem forte, especialmente de malharia. Então há 2 anos eu estou trabalhando em Bangladesh com um projeto que chama Sica Clipping Up, que tem o objetivo de desenvolver uma técnica tradicional, que é a técnica do tear, que as mulheres fazem no norte do país, que elas fazem tapetes com o resto de material. Eu comecei a fazer uma coleção de bolsas com essa técnica, e aí dando capacitação para elas e desenvolvendo costura, desenvolvendo modelagem, dando novas ideias para os produtos que elas possam produzir com esse material. Então o processo de produção das bolsas começa na capital, em Dhaka, onde eu vou nos galpões buscar esse resto de tecido, daí eu vou ver a qualidade do material, a cor. Depois a gente leva isso para as pequenas unidades de produção, que ficam a 300 quilômetros de Dhaka, que é uma parte rural, que é onde as artesãs trabalham. Algumas delas vão focar na parte de cortar isso em tamanhos regulares para cada tipo de design. Outro grupo vai trabalhar na parte do tear, então a gente vai fazer o tear do tamanho certo para cada bolsa, escolher os materiais, escolher como que vai ser o acabamento disso. Depois disso a gente tira do tear e aí vai fazer toda a costura manual, fechar as bolsas e costurar o forro das bolsas. Então todos esses processos eu estou auxiliando elas e a gente vai chegando numa qualidade boa para exportação, porque a ideia das bolsas é mandar para fora, é dar visibilidade para essas artesãs, mostrar o que elas estão fazendo ali. Então o objetivo do meu projeto em Bangladesh é dar suporte a essas artesãs, ajudando elas com design e com a comercialização desses produtos. E daí na hora de vender esses produtos eu quero que as pessoas sintam essa interação que eu tenho com elas, tipo, essa alegria que a gente tem de estar fazendo uma coisa nova, de estar mudando alguma coisa dentro desse mundo da moda que é tão complexo e tão difícil de mudar.
শতরঞ্জি আমরা তো ছোট থেকে দেখতেছি, আর এটা আমাদের আগের জেনারেশন বাবা মা দাদা দাদি এদের থেকেও ছিল, মানে যখন আমাদের এখানে কাজটা ছিল না ঠিক তখন দেখছি যে আমাদের এই গ্রামে অনেক অভাব অনটন ছিল, এখন সবাই কাজ করে।
পুতুল দিদি আমাদেরকে এই কাজটা শেখায় যাতে আমরা পড়ালেখার পাশাপাশি এই কাজটা করতে পারি এবং আমাদের পড়ালেখার খরচটা চালাইতে পারি। দেখতে যেমন ভালো লাগে তেমনি করতেও ভালো লাগে, যে নতুন নতুন ডিজাইন করা যায় আর পাশাপাশি টাকাও পাওয়া যায়।
বাসায় বসে থেকে করতে পারি, এমনকি কাজ করার সাথে পরিবারও দেখাশোনা করা হয়। খুবই কষ্ট ছিল আমার, কিন্তু কাজটা করার পর থেকে আমি এখন পরিবারে অনেক সাহায্য করতে পারি টাকা পয়সা দিয়ে, যেমন বাচ্চার স্কুলের খরচ। আমার এই কাজটা করতে একটা টানা উঠাইতে আমার 8-9 দিন লাগে।
আগে অনেক সমস্যা ছিল, একাই স্বামী আয় করতো, সেটা দিয়ে হইতো না, বাচ্চাকে লেখাপড়া খরচ অন্য সমস্যাগুলো হইতো না। এখন এই কাজ করি, আয় করি।
We're collecting the waste jerseys from Dhaka, but I get inspired from the traditional technique and then bridging it also more to contemporary way, using waste and using this traditional technique.
দেখি টিভির মধ্যে দেখা গেলো যে কোনো একটা নতুন ডিজাইন বা একটা কাপড়ের মধ্যে নকশা দেখলাম, সেটা দেখে একটু হলেও ওইখান থেকে কিছু একটা নিয়ে আমরা ডিজাইন করার চেষ্টা করি।
ওয়েস্টেজের কোনো সাইজ নেই, স্পেশাল শেপ নাই, যে কারণে আমাদের মতো শেপে নিতে হয়, আমাদের মতো কালার যদি ডাই করি না, কালার যোগগুলো কিনে নিয়ে আসি, ওয়েস্টেজ কিনে নিয়ে আসি, আমরা ওই হিসেবে কাজগুলো করতেছি।
তার মধ্যে আমাদেরকে নিজেকেও একটু ভাবতে হবে যে কোথায় কী দিলে ভালো লাগবে, ভালো দেখা যাবে, সেই রকম করে আমরা নিজেরাই তৈরি করি।
জিনিসটাকে একটা এনজিও হিসেবে নিয়ে গেছি, যাতে আমরা এই ফ্যামিলিদের জন্য আরও কিছু করতে পারি, হেলথ সেবাটা দিতে পারি, কমিউনিটিতে দিতে পারি, ফাইন্যান্স যেমন সাপোর্ট, হোম লোন, যে জিনিসগুলো কমিউনিটিকে ডেভেলপ করা।
স্যারেরা পরীক্ষার সময় অনেক সুযোগ দেয়, যখন আমার কলেজের ছুটির দরকার হয়, প্রয়োজন হয় ওখানে, তখন স্যাররা ছুটি দেয়। আমার ফ্যামিলিতেও হেল্প করি, আবার পড়াশোনার যে মানে ব্যয়টা সেইটাও আমার এই কাজের টাকাতেই হয়।
কর্ম থাকলে, ইনকাম যদি থাকে, তাহলে পরিবার একটা অবস্থান তৈরি হবে, একটা গ্রহণযোগ্যতা তৈরি হবে, একটা কথা বললে সেটা বাবা শুনবে।
আগের ছেলেরা যেমন বাবা মার পাশে দাঁড়াচ্ছে ছিল, আমিও চাই ছেলেদের মতো করে বাবা মার পাশে।
আর কাজটা করেও মজা লাগে, কত সুন্দর সুন্দর ডিজাইনের আমরা নতুন নতুন কাজ তৈরি করতে পারি।
যত দ্রুত হাত চালে কাজ করবে তত কোয়ালিটির একটু ড্যামেজ হয়ে যায়, এই জন্য এটার মধ্যে অত চাহিদা নাই যে কোয়ালিটি ভালো করতে হবে, একটু কতটা হয় হোক, এই জন্যই কাজটা মোটামুটি ভালো লাগে।
আমার বর্তমান স্বপ্ন একটা, আমার বড় ছেলে আছে, আমার বড় ছেলেকে যেন আমি লেখাপড়া করাইতে পারি।
যা করার ছিল তা হয়ে গেছে, ছেলেকে মানুষ করছি, বাড়ি করছি, ঘর করছি।
যেহেতু এতদিন থেকে কাজ করতেছি, আমার তো অভিজ্ঞতা হয়েছে। পরবর্তীতে যদি সেরকম হয় তাহলে আমি নিজে একটা কোম্পানি দিতে পাবো।
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
So much we can support one another, I think, in like working in small social projects. We can learn so much from one another, and maybe open up for collaborations also with face-to-face. So just to present, so I'm Simone. I think the first video is a little bit older. I've been here in Berlin since 2012, so I'm from Brazil. I have a degree in design and fashion, and a master's in sustainable fashion. That's how I went to Bangladesh. So been exploring my own way with my own work and intercultural experiences, like working in different markets, different kind of aesthetics.
How you, as a single person, a designer, just went over and set up a label. That's really brave. Like, what gave you the confidence, and what are your goals as well? Where do you want to go next and take this label?
I think I've always looked at work as a kind of like a spiritual growth. I think for me it's like, or taking life as a very like spiritual growth. I started my label in Brazil because it was something, it was very natural to me. I started during my studies, and then it's always like an aspire, right? Like when you start working on something you're very passionate, and you look at your competitors or your market, and then you see like what are your strengths, and then you like working on it over and over. So to me was also always important, like the social part and material wise as well. Know the value of material, of textiles, because I'm really inspired of textures, and we really like, it's like we love objects, and to really research what is the input that's really putting in there, like, and to use fashion as a tool, like to communicate, because fashion is a communication tool. I mean, we can see outside like how we've been working, or how we've been doing our practices in the planet and exploiting people, exploiting the planet. So it's interesting, like it's good to really know like how much input is put into there. I think upcycling is coming out now. It's really growing. Small business also are growing. I think more networking and using some of the tools from fashion. This is where I'm going now, like really coming from a fashion background, but also going more into entrepreneur aspect, and learning how to build a brand, how to work in a collective, to learn also from how somehow fast fashion has worked and mass market has worked because of some tools are there that we can look at and learn from it, but also do it in a more sustainable way. But my goal, just my goal in general is to support more equality, to have more equality, to support like traditional crafts, to support artisans. My grandmother, she taught me like sewing. And
are you a business person, or do you have somebody helping you there?
I'm doing all the aspects, and I have inputs, I do some courses, I have people sometimes doing some coming for workshops, but I'm doing the design, the marketing, the business part, all of those, because I'm still also not able to afford like even like my honorary, like I'm also not taking, I'm still growing on to have a cash flow in the business itself.
Which NGO do you work with?
I work with not NGOs, they're social, like they're local social businesses, 2 of them. One is in Rangpur, the one that makes the bags, the ones that use this, the pit loom, the normal loom. They are doing like rag rugs since 2000, beginning of 2000. And they set up there because Rangpur was really struggling at the time of financially, like to really develop the economy there. And so it's a business that they started to do these rugs for giving like jobs to women mainly. And the other one is also a fashion local business, a social business that he started as an NGO. This is called Hand Touch. Maybe some of you in Bangladesh already heard. And he's supporting a lot of weavers across the country. And we are working with women in Birgonji, like a small community there where they're doing the Shatranji, which I'm really in love with Shatranji. Since I came to Bangladesh for the first time, I wanted to experiment the jerseys on the Shatranji loom, and this is what we're doing, the rugs. So they're both like certificate.
How did you get to collect the waste? Was that challenging to source from garment factories?
So when I started with the bags at this company in Rangpur, this partner in Rangpur, they were already like doing the rugs for German market, and they already had the access to the local market getting the jerseys. What I have been doing the last years, I am trying to get directly contact with the factories. It's not so easy because it's quite a setup, like how they collect. It's like the people who are dealing with the waste, they already have kind of a deal with the factories to do work with that. But I'm trying to get the organic. Some factories now in Dhaka, they're starting to work with organic cotton, and I think it's just a waste of resource if they get blended with the other traditional cotton, because it's so valuable. So I'm working slowly with directly with the companies, but it's not so easy. So locally, usually we're getting from the traders, which are already working with the factories that have a good standard kind of fabrics that are already working with for international buy.
How do you manage to focus between business and the creative side?
Research and studying like over and over. I think this is how, and then really look at other companies. This is what I say, like it's good that the market is growing and growing, because there are a lot of companies that are already doing good, that they can we can look up to them and see how they're doing, and open yourself to learn. And I think if you have an opportunity to cooperate with other people, that would be amazing. I think it's open also to cooperate and to let the baby grow also, because in the beginning I think it's more like, oh, this is my idea, this is, I want like this, like that, but to let people cooperate and give their inputs, and to look at it more as as an organism that is growing. But with the business, I think, yes, I do it studying.
Do you know how the workers are doing now?
Yes.
Currently with a corona crisis?
Yes, it's a good question. I was there now. I was going to be there to June, and I came back before because the work was completely stopped. So I've been in touch with them the whole time. Like every week we are in touch. In Rangpur, it's a bigger company. They're still getting their income. In Birganji, they work as we pay as they produce the rugs. So right now they are not able to have because everything stopped. So they're not getting materials. We are planning all the time. The other part of the same business, like the other business partners, are also helping and sending money to other parts. So they're getting donation, some by the government, some by partners. Like there's a lot of different kind of corporations.
Where do you sell your products? Do you have an outlet in Dhaka, or do you sell mainly in Germany, or where can we buy your products?
I'm selling online. I have my own online shop, like Sica online shop. Then there's this avocado store. Also, it's only for sustainable labels in Germany, but mainly in Germany now. I've sold in Dhaka in some shops already, but I don't have anyone right now to administrate or enough production to do that, or the capacity to do it. But I think it's something that's growing. I think it's also growing the market that are looking at this kind of products, and we have also an international community in Dhaka that can also. So I think selling there is also some of in the plan. But right now I'm selling mainly online. There's my atelier here where I receive some customers sometimes here in Berlin. Hopefully there will be like soon also in Brazil some connection where I can send directly from Dhaka or from Bangladesh there.
Judith is writing such a great product. I actually got myself a loom to start weaving out of old clothing, and I was wondering if you have experience in weaving patterns. Is that possible, or do you have experience weaving different shapes than squares?
No, I don't have. I have a good designer friend in Dhaka I can connect you with. She's doing that also in Rangpur, but I don't.
How do you make sure that you that you can provide a certain level of quality? Do you teach your workers? Do you have a quality control? Which are the mechanisms, or what have you come up with to ensure a certain kind of quality level?
Mainly through the training and working with the same community. For the bags, we've been working since 2013, and that, like I said, there was 1 year that I was there for a whole month, living in the factory, which was also very difficult at one point, but it was really training the same people, and then they know like what do I want. And even though we don't communicate very fluently because their English is very limited and my Bangla is also very limited, but this is how. And then working also with that's why it's important for me to work with the local. This is one advantage to work with the local business, because they also have capacity, and they're also working for exports with other.
Thank you so much, Simone, for your time and your presenting and sharing your ideas and your beautiful label with us.